Hey guys, welcome back to Dirt's Daily. Today we're taking a look at the comics that came out for the week of September 2nd, 2009. And we're doing things a little bit differently this week. Instead of it just being a breakdown by company of some of the good books that came out, we're actually going to take a look at some of the good books and some of the not so good books came out this week. But let's kick it off by looking at Ultimate Spider-Man number 2. Now, ever since Amazing Spider-Man went through Brand New Day, I have been avoiding a lot of the Spider-Man titles. However, I found myself instantly in love with Ultimate Spider-Man when it relaunched, and here in issue 2, I'm just as happy with this book. This is Spider-Man as the awkward high school boy who has a hard time fitting into the world around him, and has an even harder time trying to figure out why the heck he decided to be a superhero in the first place. There's not really much I can say about this book that I'm unhappy with, which should tell you how good I think it is. Deadpool number 15. Seems like, I don't know, maybe just last week we were talking about Deadpool 14. Deadpool 14. Huh. Well, there you go. But today we're going to talk about Deadpool 15. It's just as zany, just as madcap, just as funny to read. In fact, the main reason why I love Deadpool 15 is because Deadpool ends up dressing like this. Wow. The Torch. Now, one of the things I love about this new series is the way that it balances the ridiculous along with the serious. You've got the Torch, who should be dead, but he's alive because Bucky held a cosmic cube in his hands and willed him back into existence. Which, you know, happens every day in the Marvel Universe, I guess, but at the same time, he finds himself in a world that he has very few connections with. His wife has moved on into a new relationship because she thought he was dead, which, you know, he was. He has no birth certificate, so he can't get a job. Any friends and family he thought he had have moved on, and he can't find their new address. So, how does a guy disconnected from the world around him find the will to save it? It's really kind of an interesting story, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Red Tornado number 1. Now, besides the fact that Red Tornado apparently is the alter ego of Kurt Angle, it's amazing to me how much they can make me care about a guy only in the span of 24 pages. But they do it because they've done basically the impossible. They've taken Commander Data from Star Trek The Next Generation and put him headfirst into the DC Universe. He's trying to fit into the human world around him while at the same time track down members of his android family. As much as I love Star Trek The Next Generation because I'm a big fat geeky nerd guy who grew up in the late 80s and early 90s, I love the way they've done this book. Irredeemable number 6. This stands out to me because Mark Waid continues to do something different from what Alan Moore and Warren Ellis and everybody else who's done one of these superheroes gone bad storylines has always done. See, Mark Waid has sold you this story centered on the Plutonian, even though the story is really about the rest of the heroes who are banding together in order to destroy him. Here we have a group of heroes who are unwilling to give up, even though they really have no hope of ever succeeding against the Plutonian based on how strong he is to begin with. Now, on the not-so-good side, we've got Batman 690. I've never been a big fan of Judd Winnick, and this is the type of book that reminds me why. We have 4,000 pages of internal monologue being given to us in a 24-page comic. Not only that, but I can't understand what's wrong with Dick Grayson. As Nightwing, he was able to hold his own and show that he was able to take over the mantle of the Batman. But as the Batman, he seems horribly inept. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, except the fact that I'm going to stick to reading Streets of Gotham and Batman and Robin for the time being. Magog 1. Yes, Magog. The guy who was created as an in-joke to make fun of Rob Liefeld characters now finds himself with his own series. Take a look at the cover. This is the entire story of the book. Magog attacks. Alan Scott poo-poos him for the decisions he's made. The end. Marvel Zombies The Return #1. Here's the only problem. Marvel Zombies The Return takes that wacky, whimsical look at the gory, bloody, funny side of zombies that we saw in Marvel Zombies 1 and 2, which were great series and were a lot of fun. But then we got Marvel Zombies 3 and 4, which took a much darker, more sinister tone, and became books with a lot more emotional impact. And now it seems like we're taking a step backwards. While there's really nothing wrong with Marvel Zombies The Return that deeply, there's nothing that great about it either. It feels like we've been here before. And unfortunately, this is a book that Marvel has decided to charge you $4 for instead of $3, so I really can't recommend it. The last book we're looking at now is Jonah Hex 47. The problem with Jonah Hex 47 is not that there's anything terrible about it, but again, there's nothing great about it. Jonah Hex used to offer one-and-done stories, where you buy the issue, you read it, and then you are done reading the entire story. But they've offered up now the 6-Gun War arc, and this particular issue may work when everything is collected together into the graphic novel, or the trade paperback, or the hardback, or however they're going to collect it together. But as a standalone monthly book, it really doesn't work that well. This very well may be the breather that you need in between the exciting stuff that happened before and the exciting stuff that's going to come. But for right now, it just seems like a whole lot of nothing. But if you are looking for some type of hardback or trade paperback or whatever to read, might I suggest the Wolverine Origins Dark Reign hardcover. Now, some people really dislike Dak, and I have nothing against him. In fact, I enjoyed this story quite a bit. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I wrote some positive reviews about it, and Marvel Comics was nice enough to print an excerpt from my review right across the top here. So who gets top billing in the reviews? Yeah, you know it. So if you got 20 bucks sitting around and you're looking for a pretty good Wolverine story and you don't have any preconceived notions that you dislike his son, then go ahead and check it out, because I think you will enjoy it. That's all we have time for this week, guys, but thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought. Stop by VGLosers.com, enter our forums, and leave me a note, and I'll talk to you guys next time.